was good, everybody. It's your boy, Tony Max. Y'all know I do it to the max. Coming back at y'all again with another fantastic episode of Truth to Life, where we discuss real life issues that affect real life people in real everyday life. In today's episode, you guys, we're going to discuss why monogamous committed married relationships, married life relationships, are supposed to be boring. They're supposed to be boring. What you ain't telling me, Max? You're telling me that I find my wife or the woman she finds her husband and, you know, everything is great at first and, you know, it's wonderful, but then it's supposed to be boring? Why? Great question. Glad you asked, because I got the answer. So, hope you got your pen in your bag. You ready? Come on. Let's dig in. Okay, listen. After the newness wears off, after the honeymoon phase is over, this fact is applicable in all relationships of anyone. So, although I'm speaking primarily to black men, modern-minded women permeate the planet, period. So, here's what I'm saying. Regardless of what your nationality or your ethnicity may happen to be, women are women, just as men are men. So, here's what I'm saying. The newness of a brand new car wears off eventually. The newness and excitement of a Rolex watch or $1 million bracelet or chain or a Bugatti or a $1 million home, whatever it is. If you go buy a brand new television, eventually it's just a TV. Eventually, the newness wears off. So just as that logic of when you purchase something new, the newness eventually wears off, it's the same thing as it relates to relationships. The exact same logic, fellas. Here's what I mean. After you meet this woman and you guys have all the sex you want to have, you've gotten married and done all the marriage stuff and you've kicked it and set up your schedules for how you want to live your married life. You got new friends, married friends, and you guys have a whole new life now, which is great. But you do wear off. The newness eventually wears off, regardless of how beautiful she is, how fine she is, how pretty she is. Any of her attributes that made her attractive to you or makes her attractive to you, that's going to wear off in time. Same thing with women as it relates to men. Our newness to the woman, the new guy, or my brand new husband or whatever, it's going to wear off eventually. Marriage is about a lot more and goes a lot deeper into detail when it comes down to the actual mechanics, the functionality of what it takes to maintain a relationship, a serious relationship, and the highest of serious relationships, which is, of course, marriage. It takes work. You cannot consult. Go to any old couple that's still, and you got old couples, a lot of old couples, you can tell that when they were younger, the guy was really handsome and the lady, she was really beautiful. You have couples like that. Go to an old folks home. Anything. Go to some grandparents, any two people that has been married for multiple decades, and they got gray hair, both people, gray hair top to bottom, holla at them. Just ask them. Don't take my word. I'm telling you what I know for sure, because I'm not going to steer you wrong, any of you, women or men, because I love y'all and I want y'all to have the truth. The truth may not always be palatable, but it doesn't negate the fact that it's the truth and that it will ultimately improve the quality of your life. Translation is this: make your life better. That's my purpose, to make your life better, because I've made all the mistakes, pretty much. So as we live in this adventure, this marathon of life, we learn, we grow, we become better. We learn, we grow, and become better. So it's important for us to share that information back and forth. Now, I digress. The newness after it wears wears off, that's when the real work kicks in. The real work, when the newness and honeymoon phase wears off, that's when real work begins. The mechanics. That's the whole purpose of deciding, hey, I want her to be my lifetime friend, my best friend, and I want to rock it out with her in this business of marriage. I want her to be the vice president. That's who I'm going to hire to be my vice president in this thing called family and life. And because it's a hierarchy, it only works one way. So as you guys work this thing out, then that's the only way you're going to have any kind of longevity in any kind of relationship, because these things are all prerequisites to long-lasting relationships. Instead of just randomly getting married for the sake of the idea of getting married. It's ridiculous. For those of you that grew up with siblings and or those of you who have children, you'll understand this context, this logic, right? You wake up in the morning, or your parents wake you up in the morning when you're a child. You go through a certain routine, you get ready for school, eat you some breakfast, go to school, do school, come back home, and that's your routine. You get into middle school, and then now you have the introduction of sports. For girls, it's volleyball or cheerleading, etc. Guys, we do the football, basketball thing, or whatever other sports that your school had available for you. So this routine conditions us and prepares us for high school. And high school, we do the same thing, but the only difference is now we're starting to really get into girlfriend, boyfriend relationships, etc. Okay, well, and everything gets a lot more intense because high school prepares you for adulthood. You grown. By the time you out of high school, you grown. When we are adults, we make certain decisions, and in life, we adhere to a certain regimen, a certain routine, a certain schedule. I go and I work out. I get up at go to sleep somewhere between 1 and 5 in the afternoon. I get up at 10 or 11, 12, and I work all night and wash, rinse, and repeat. Hit the gym at 5 in the morning, work out for about an hour, come on back home, and continue to work, make progress. Well, I said all of that to tie it into this. Within the context of a serious, committed, monogamous relationship, which is marriage, that is boring, right? Why, Tony Max? Why is it boring? Because of routine. And I said all of that to help you to understand the logic behind routine. If you're single, and many of you are, matter of fact, of black women specifically, 48% of black women are not married. 52% of black men are not married and childless. Okay? Well, and these are statistics. These are facts. This is not my opinion. Something I thought. Go to blackdemographics.com and they'll show you the same thing. Right? So, in your single life, ladies, within the context of your single life, what's going on? You are a human being who was created to be a creature of routine. So your routine is wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. Wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. Weekend, party, Sunday, go to church. Monday, wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. Routine. So, the only question really remains is this. Do I want to be in this boring routine alone, by myself? Or do I want to have a husband to be in a routine with that so we can be bored together and at least have some kind of excitement together periodically? Because if you by yourself, ain't no excitement in that, you just by yourself. Period. The only excitement in that is random dudes doing random dangerous stuff that endangers your health and becoming a baby mama and all that drama that's involved with being single because no man has hired you for the job of marriage. However, Gee, Tony Max. Because you understand the logic of the monotony that surrounds you or that encompasses your whole life when you're single, you get that clearly. But when you get, and I'm only speaking to modern-minded, feminist black women, not traditional, okay? Traditional sisters, y'all get this. And that's why y'all have long-lasting marriages until y'all grow old and die. But for the women that do not, here's the logic, ladies. When you humble yourself and understand that, number one, relationships of any kind are difficult, for one, first and foremost. So if it's a parent-child relationship, if it's a sibling relationship, or a relationship with your other kinfolks, or your mother, or your employee-employer relationship, all relationships are difficult because they require human interaction, and by basic definition of us being human beings, we're difficult because every human being is unique and different in his own disposition. We take that, we set that to the side. Within the context of a marriage, women come and think that the ideal of marriage is this fantasy, delusional, unrealistic thing where you taking trips every 15 minutes and shopping every 15 minutes and everything's supposed to go great and there are no problems or surprises that are ever supposed to happen. And it's unrealistic, it's a delusion, and there's something wrong with women who think this way. And it's the reason why marriages are destroyed or dissolved at such a fast rate, because women initiate 80% of the divorces in marriages. And I'm only speaking of men married to women. I don't even acknowledge that other stuff, because that other stuff is other stuff. It's not marriage, according to God. Anyway, since you know that men cheat as a result of variety and as a result of our desire to conquer, then why would you fuel our disdain in the mental state of the marriage by being disrespectful, by being boring, by having the mindset of this is boring? Why not go into yourself, do the work that you have to do, humble yourself for your man, start catering to your man, add some spice to your relationship so that you can be the variety that he wants, because it's all in one place and you understand the logic. So with that being said, hey, thanks for the love and support. Thanks for coming to the channel. I hope you guys have learned something. I hope you guys have taken notes so you know what to look out for. Stay away from these modern-minded black women, fellas. Look, if you happen to be on your laptop or your PC, look in the upper right-hand corner. On the banner, there are ways for you to support there. You'll see the links. If you're on your device or a tablet, you can look beneath the video where it says show more or read more. Click on that link and it'll show you the ways to support there. The music that you hear in the background is music that I've made. I'm currently working on my next project. I do R&B music as well as a few other styles of music. And I get a pretty good, so far I'm getting a pretty good, I've been getting a pretty good response from the fans. So again, thanks for the love and support. I really appreciate you guys. Hey, till next we meet. Peace and progress to you, man.
Gotta have something. Watch me get it, man. What it give me is what I take from it.